Hello everyone, welcome to Crypto Tribe Global, and this is your Crypto Master. My name is Mirzad. I hope you are all doing very well. So in today's session, we have a very special guest, and I am so excited for this person to be here with us. He's the CEO of Delta Exchange, which is a leading crypto derivative exchange, and he's a seasoned business leader and a derivative leader trader. And I'm entirely convinced that we can have a very informative and interactive session with him. So please continue watching. Let's welcome Mr. Pankaj Balani, the CEO of Delta Exchange. How are you doing today?
Very well, very well. Thank you, Mirza. Great introduction, and I feel like a star.
That's good. That's good.
Hello to all the viewers as well. Glad to be here. I was really excited to come and join Mirza on this show. I've seen the videos, and I personally am an audience as well. So really excited.
That's
Uh,
good. So we,
so
we
let
are
me
so happy. We are so happy and excited to have you in the session. So before we start talking about Delta token and the products you sell, the things you have planned for Indian audience, Indian crypto lovers, let's talk about you. So could you please
Sure.
share a little bit about yourself to our viewers? We would love to know you.
Absolutely. Uh, so I started my journey. I am a pass out of IIT Delhi. Uh, and I've done derivatives for about 6-7 years in my life prior to starting Delta. I've also worked in a startup before, and Delta is where I was able to combine both of my skills on the financial market side and on the startup side. So, so how did I, what's my journey? I passed out of IIT Delhi, was very lucky to get absorbed on with UBS, leading investment bank. And I was very lucky to be placed on one of the largest derivatives desk in the world. I was based out of Hong Kong. I, got that opportunity, started to work on the derivative side, coming from a math and a physics background. And derivatives is a lot of mathematics and equations at the core of it. It was very exciting for me as well. Uh, like I said, we were one of the largest tests, so I got an opportunity to deal with the best of funds in the space in the equity derivative side, and I also got to see the world of derivatives very closely from a product and a market point of view. Like everything under the sun, when it comes to different kind of options, futures, volatility products, is something that I've experienced or traded, or designed or traded rather. And then we used to look at Hong Kong market, we used to look at India market, Korea, Taiwan. So I've actually worked in all these markets and have a good understanding of how different markets across the globe work. I then worked with a hedge fund myself as an options trader, so got further understanding of how to do these things, and then worked with a London-based shop to set up their India presence and to set up a proprietary trading and research group. So that's my experience. Like I said, couple of years, 6 to 7 years of doing derivatives trading across the globe, and that's how I started. Now I was also, like I said, I was working in derivatives. I came from a math physics background, so I got really excited with this, and it kind of became a passion. I got really fascinated by financial engineering and others, and I also started to take classes on derivatives. So I used to do some online courses and some classes that teach people how these things work. So did that. After that, I was very lucky to meet my co-founders. One of them is a classmate from my business school. Another one is also, all three of us are from IIT background. Uh, so our third co-founder was also from IIT Bombay, computer science. He had done TinyML in the past. His name is Saurabh. So Saurabh, myself, and Jitendra, three of us are co-founders, and we started Delta way back in 2018, towards the end of 2018. And what we saw was that crypto markets were 2017 was a massive bull run, right? 2017, everyone started to notice crypto, right? The world started to expand for crypto, right? And that is when we had looked at Bitcoin and other cryptos in the past, but we started to look at it more seriously. And we realized that if these markets have to grow big, then you need derivatives on these markets, because in the absence of derivatives, these markets cannot grow. And the biggest proof of that is what happened 2 days back. The ETF got approved.
Yeah.
It got approved for futures, not for spot.
Yeah.
Right? Because spot has a lot of complications,
Yeah.
like custody, like how to buy, where to buy, is it a security, is it not a security, those discussions. Then the biggest one is how do you custody them, right? How do you custody so many assets? And this custody is not a same custody as you do it for equities or bonds. So you have to involve a whole value chain. So it's a lot easy to do it with futures. And that's what we had realized a couple of years back, that people will need to, these markets will grow big. Not only that, if you're a professional fund manager, if you're putting a lot of money in crypto, then you want to protect that money. You want to hedge it when the market is going down. You want to, buy some protection, let's just buy some insurance on your portfolio and so on. You need derivatives for that. So those are the kind of products that derivatives are also called risk management products.
True.
So unlike what people think that they are actually risky products, yes, they are risky, but they're also risk management products. They help you. They help you basically mitigate your risk against price movement, mitigate your risk against volatility, and so on. So we started to build Delta, and it's been a good 2.5, 3 years in our journey.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that you've had a crazy journey from the beginning. From the beginning where you are today.
Yes.
So you have given the entire crypto journey in your professional career. You have been through many global exchanges. You have been a educator in crypto. You have been a trader in crypto.
Yes.
So I really want to know what led you start, what motivated you to work, and what kept you interested in crypto space. I really want to know that. And I'm being an educator by
Sure.
myself. I really want to know what can keep me motivated in crypto. I know the future of crypto, but I really want to know you're sitting on a chair that you can actually lead a wonderful derivative platform in India. And I really want to know that as an educator, I really want to know that how can I reach to that kind of position. Like, I would love to lead a community where they can actually make money in crypto. I mean, I'm training people, I'm leading them, I'm teaching them,
Yeah.
but still people don't have that kind of transparency in crypto. So I really want to know your the thing that keeps you motivated all the time. So yeah.
Sure, you're doing pretty well, I would say. So, I don't think I need to teach you anything, but I'll just talk about my experience and what keeps me going.
Yeah.
See, for me, derivatives is something that I was doing, prior to crypto as well. So it was a passion. Financial engineering is something that I got really excited about and I got really interested in. And when we started to look, and then, coming from an engineering background, Bitcoin is so fascinating, right?
Yeah.
It's a whole new financial system. Yes, that is great, but it's also a new asset class. Right? It's only now that we are seeing this asset class kind of get included in the mainstream. So that is really exciting and fascinating to see it grow and see it go from basically small community where a few people would look at it to now ETF approval, then ETF spot approval, then bigger funds coming in, and becoming a full-fledged asset class. Last year, when big fund managers were talking about Bitcoin, it was quite good to see that guys like Tudor and Soros are now speaking about Bitcoin. Right? It's made its place in just 10 years, and equities would have had this journey way back in 1920s, but we were not around.
Yeah.
So it's very good to see that asset class take a shape, and it's actually an asset class it was born in 2008, right? So it's born out of kind of baptized with fire, I would say, already, but born out of a need. So it kind of changes how you look at things. It kind of changes how it offers an alternate way to think about financial system, which is very exciting. I'm not sure how and where this will go, because that is going to be a change that is going to reflect over hundreds of years.
Yeah.
But it's a very powerful change in itself. It can kind of change the way societies are organized and so on. So yeah, it's quite fascinating, and it's I would say very rewarding to be part of this industry. This industry moves so fast, and so much happens every day, and it's really great to see. From 2017, when people were talking about I would short Bitcoin at any price, and I would not even touch Bitcoin and so on, to now where every top fund manager wants to get involved. It's one of those things, right? You cannot avoid an idea whose time has come.
Yeah.
So it's actually that happening right in front of you.
Yeah.
And we feel really rewarded to be a part of a small vertical of the crypto ecosystem, we are seeing it grow and build. When we started in derivatives,
Mm.
there was no liquidity
Mm.
in Bitcoin futures, right?
Mm.
Only Bitcoin perpetual swap was liquid.
Mm.
If you wanted to find Ethereum perpetuals or futures, even they were not available. Now, how fast, how much has changed? Today, even just on Delta, we offer like 100 coins with perpetuals, right? So we offer Ethereum, Ripple, XRP, Luna, Spell, all kinds of coins that, you know, if you just go back 3 years and say we'll offer all these coins with to be able to, you know, trade on futures, that would look unbelievable and unrealistic.
Yeah, that's true. So, I think when you look at the revolution of monetization, we have seen the barter system, we have seen the metal value of metal system, we have seen the gold standard, and we have seen the fiat currency replacing. And now we are looking at a, era where fiat currency is being replaced by cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin and all. So, looking at the revolution, it seems so crazy, and the crypto market is going crazy right now. And people are actually in the crypto market. They were actually talking outside crypto market. Now they're actually in the crypto market and talking about crypto in staying in crypto field. So it's so good to see that many people are coming on board. So people are interested about crypto. But I think Delta offers different kind of products. Delta offers unique products.
Yes.
So I really want you to take a deep dive into what Delta offers to the crypto enthusiasts, the crypto traders, because I have around 8,000 plus active traders in my community, and these people are afraid to touch derivative. These people are, even afraid to touch spot trade sometimes. So they are still learning, they are still updating because they are new to crypto, just because they've came to know about crypto after Doge and Elon Musk. So that's what happened in the market.
Yes.
So we really want you to take a deep dive into the Delta part and the derivative side, and the unique product that derivative Delta Exchange sell to the Indian customers, Indian audience. So we want you to know, we want you to tell us about everything. As the CEO of Delta Exchange, I think you can give us the clear picture of how Delta is actually working. Yeah.
Sure. And, I'd just like to start by saying a lot of people think that, Dogecoin and some tweets from Elon Musk, that's the space of crypto. And that's not true.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Honestly, that's a lot of speculation, but there is a lot of opportunity to trade responsibly and to, just like trade any other market and be responsible with it and systematically and with good risk management, make money. Right? If you make a good trade, you will make money. If you make a bad trade, you will lose money. And that's the name of the game.
It's all part of the game.
Yeah. And that's fair ask, right? That is essentially how any market is organized. This market offers you high volatility. There are platforms like us, and we have some very differentiated and unique products I'm going to talk about. But it's not all about only Dogecoin and just crazy returns overnight. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you can do with where you are responsible. If you trade responsibly, you can make good returns without taking the extra risk of going into Dogecoin and others. So okay, now what does Delta do and what does Delta offer? Right, like I've already said, we are a derivatives platform. So I'll just elaborate on that. We do futures and perpetual swaps. If anybody is coming from traditional markets and they don't understand what perpetual swaps are, these are basically a shorter duration futures. Think of them as an 8-hour future, which is a self-rolling contract. So what's a future? Future is nothing but a contract that allows you to buy or sell something without actually owning it. Right? So you can sell something that you don't own, which means you get short. You can buy something that you don't own, but so you get the upside, but you actually don't own the asset. Right? So these products also provide you leverage. So if you have $10,000, you can take a position of $50,000 or $20,000. You can actually take a position of $100,000 as well, but you're taking a lot more risk, right? So yes, there is leverage built into these products. You can use them to buy or sell. If you think that the price is going to go up, you can go long. If you think that the price is going to go down, you can sell without owning. So you can actually go short. And we give you futures and perpetual swaps on Bitcoin, on Ethereum, and like I said, 100 other smaller coins, including coins like Doge, SHIB, and also coins like Axie, and Spell and others. Some of those who also DeFi coins like Aave and others. Okay. We also do options. Options are basically contracts that allow you to buy the upside or the downside in a particular asset. So these are contracts which basically help you. Let's say you think that the price of Bitcoin is going to go beyond 75, and you want to say that, look, if the price goes above 75, then I want to get paid. But if it goes below, then I don't want to participate in that, right? So there is a product for that, but there is a cost for it, right? So you will buy the right to have Bitcoin at 75 or more. In this case, you can lose your premium, but you will not have downside, right? So for those who want to explore more, these are very interesting products. They offer very good payoffs if you know how to trade them. We have a lot of content on our website that I would advise people to read and get a quick understanding of how to trade options. For those who know what options are and how to trade them, we give options on the Bitcoin, on Ethereum, on Solana, on ADA, on BNB, Link, BCH, a bunch of these smaller coins. And we are the only exchange globally to offer options on smaller coins. There's no other exchange anywhere in the world that is offering options on a bunch of, outside Bitcoin and Ethereum. So in that regard, Delta is quite differentiated as well. We offer products which are not available anywhere else, which can make it very attractive for people to kind of, come and sign up and trade on the platform. And like I said, if you know how to use these products, you can make very handsome returns. But you have to be careful. These are risky products. Also, very quickly, just 2 sentences about options. Options give you right to buy or sell something without having the obligation to do so.
Yeah.
Right. So if you buy options, you're relatively safer because you have the right to buy something. Worst case, you, like the name says, you have an option to do something. You don't have to do it. You have the option. Now, any option in life costs you money, right?
Yeah.
So you'll have to take some premium, and it will have a timeline.
Yeah.
So I can get something from you, something done from you within the next 1 month, but then if that 1 month is over, then my option expires.
Yeah.
So that right has a price that goes down over a period of time if you don't use it, and so you paid for the price and you have certain maturity to exercise the right. Like I said, details are available on the website. But yeah, so futures or options is what we do. If you just want to buy or sell Bitcoin, we have that facility as well. You can buy we have spot markets where you can buy or sell Bitcoin. You can buy or sell Ethereum. We also have our own token called Netto. You can buy or sell that against USD Tether as well. Right now, we don't support fiat. We only, so you cannot bring INR or any other currency to Delta. You will have to bring Tether, USD Tether or Bitcoin or Ethereum. Sorry. So we don't support any fiat. You will have to buy fiat, buy crypto from some other platform, and bring them to Delta, and then you can start trading futures and options. We are actually quite a global platform. A large part of our audience, in fact, majority of our audience, is coming from different countries outside India. We are also a global company in the sense we are not incorporated in India. We are Indians. So yeah, these are some of the things about the platform. And also, you asked me what does Delta do and what products does it offer. I did touch upon that. This is one very important, interesting product that we have. It's called robo trading.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I really want to know. The yield farming have been one of the most popular concept in DeFi, and allowing users to generate more income in their existing cryptos.
Yes.
And there are different strategies like yield farming in derivative platforms. The systematic selling options become extremely lucrative way to make passive incomes. So I need you to talk about the robo trading that you offer, and which is, I think, one of the best way to earn passive income in crypto. And there are many platforms who actually ask customers to pay them first in order for them to participate in robo trading. So your platform is giving it away for free. anybody can be a customer there. You can be,
Yeah.
you can subscribe to any robo trading strategies, and you can earn money from it. So
Yeah.
I think, if people are watching this, for sure they know the potential of stock market, where they can just invest their money and earn money from the stock in a long run. And I think the potential of crypto is much higher than what stock market offers. So the robo trading, I think it is actually the simple step to convert their investment from stock to crypto trading. So crypto can actually give more benefit. In stock they might get 10% or 20% in 3 to 10 years. I don't know how long it will take, but in crypto it can be done in a fraction of a second for sure. And the robot trading is offering many good results as well. So take us a deep dive into the robot trading and how the robot trading is effective for a crypto investor.
So, like the name states, robo trading, right? So basically, it's automatic trading. So you don't, if you don't understand how futures and options work, if you don't want to deal with the volatility of crypto markets, if you don't want to open close positions on your own, you can basically park some money in some strategies that we have built, and basically you can just deploy your capital to those strategies, and those strategies will do some rule-based trading on their own, and you can essentially earn returns from. Now, there are different kind of strategies, right? There is high risk strategies which also offer higher returns. There is low risk strategies which offer lower returns. Okay? And then there is fixed yield strategies, right? And then there is variable yield strategies. I'll just go through them one by one. So on the platform, when you go, you'll see something called momentum trading. Now that's chasing the trend, right? Any coin that is going up, your funds which are parked to the strategy will look to basically capture the trend, right? And trends on crypto are pretty big and pretty violent. So this strategy is done very well. It's up about 90% in 6 months, in 9 months, I'm sorry. So yeah, the returns can be high, but it's also, it can also lose your capital. So you have to be careful. Right? All these details are present on the website. When you go to the website and you see these strategies, you will be able to read about them. Like what do these strategies actually do? So there's a bunch of strategies which are called momentum strategies. So like the name states, momentum, right? Go with the momentum. So if the trend is going up, if the coins are going up, it will look to buy. If the coins are going down, it will look to sell. And it will generate return based on chasing the trend. Similarly, there are some strategies called arbitrage strategies. Again, arbitrage is a low risk strategy because you are trying to get inefficiencies out in the market and getting paid off them. So the return there is low. Return there is about 15% for 8 months. Much lower as compared to momentum strategies, but you also have to understand that the risk you are taking is also quite low. Right? So then these are other strategies. Then there's a third strategy called automated market maker. So it's a market making strategy. For those who have dwelled into DeFi and have done things on DeFi side, they will know that you can allocate your capital to a market maker. It will look to keep, its primary job is to provide liquidity to others without taking much risk. So it takes very short term risk. So similarly, our market making strategy also takes very short term risk, and it looks to provide liquidity. And again, it generates returns basically somewhere in between. So this is a strategy which is a medium risk strategy. It's lower than the momentum, it's higher than the arbitrage, it's somewhere in between. And the returns are also similar. It is somewhere in between. Right? So these are three basically types of strategy sets. On the platform, they are very clearly visible. There are 9 or 10 strategies. Each one of them is very clearly labeled as to what you can do. So you can park your funds there. You can distribute in your mind like what kind of allocation do you want? You want 30% high risk. You want 50% low risk. You want 10% fixed yield. So you can basically do that on your own. And it's very simple. You just have to create an account on Delta. You have to do your KYC, which is a very straightforward process. You then have to essentially deposit crypto and just allocate to these strategies. That's it. Everything that will happen from there on will happen on its own. You can just come and keep monitoring your portfolio on a daily or whatever basis as you please. Now if you have some crypto which is lying idle, which you don't want to allocate to any risky strategy, but you just want to kind of earn some yield on it, right? So then there are some staking yield strategies as well. You can put these crypto in staking strategies, and they will look towards staking yield. For example, right now the yield on Bitcoin is about 8%. it's in a way free yield, and your Bitcoin is being staked on the platform. Similarly, you have staking yield for Tether. It's about 12 to 13%. You have staking yield for Ethereum, which is about 4%. So if you have 100 Ethereum and you break it on the platform, you keep it for 1 year, you will get 4 Ethereum extra additional, right? So simple strategies, and there is no lockup in these strategies. You can deposit and withdraw anytime. So all calculations will be done on the basis of number of days you stayed in the strategy. So it's very easy to use, very user friendly in that regard. There is no lockups. There is not a lot of unnecessary things that you need to understand. There's not a lot of terms and conditions and all those. Yes, and then there is a final category of strategies which are yield strategies. This is another strategy which is enhanced yield strategy. These are risky yields. These are yields that are generated by using options, right? Now, we spoke about saying that, look, option is right, but not the obligation to do something, right? Now, you can basically buy an option or sell an option. I'll just deviate a little bit, and then I'll bring the discussion back to yield strategies. So, let's just think of what is the most common option we have used in our life. It's actually a life insurance or a car insurance, right? So, what you are saying is, if my car has an accident, then I want a payoff. Right? And the insurance company is telling you, if your car has an insurance, then, and if there is an accident, then we'll pay you off, right? So here, an insurance is typically for 1 year, right? So there is a time to maturity 1 year. There is a sum amount of premium that you pay for that right. There is an event that needs to happen for you to exercise that right. That's the accident, right? So the event that needs to happen is the accident for you to claim the premium. The time that you can do that, claim that premium is 1 year. And then, the time that you can push a claim is 1 year. And then you pay a premium for buying this insurance, right? You pay a premium for buying this, right? Now you can do the same thing for your portfolios. You can buy an insurance on your portfolio. That if market collapses, let's say something like Corona, when the news came out in March 2020, the market collapsed overnight, right? In 3-4 days, markets were down 40%. So this is like an accident, unplanned, right? So you can actually buy a protection on your portfolio. That if the market goes down by 10%, I want to get paid for any further damages beyond 10%, right? Or damages, whatever have happened. And I have 1 year to do that. But to do this, you will have to pay some money. And the worst thing that can happen is your option expires worthless, like your car insurance. You buy insurance every year, you pay some money, 1 or 2% of the total value, and then if there is no claim during that year, that insurance expires, right? You have to renew it again by paying that money. So similarly, you can buy protection on your portfolio, and every time it's going to cost some money. So two things are happening here. People who are buying options are basically buying the protection, but people who are selling options, or like the insurance company in this case, what is the insurance company thinking? The insurance company is thinking that, look, there are 100 people who are coming to buy car insurance. I'll charge 1% to each of them, right? Let's say each car is 500,000 fine. So 1% each of them from 100 people, I'll get a total 5 lakh rupees. Now, what is the probability? Or let's say 2% each. So I get total 10 lakh. Now, let's say the probability that a car meets an accident and gets a claim is 1%. Okay. So out of these 100, one car will probably come back for a claim. And that claim has the value, let's say that value was set as the maximum value of the car. So it was 5 lakh. Right? Now, the insurance company also thinks that a claim is not going to be 100%. Let's say maximum claim is 50%. So they are probably thinking that, look, if we sell this insurance to enough number of people, we will get, probabilistically, we will get an output of 2.5%, outlay of 2.5%, and we'll collect premiums of 1% for 100 people. Right? So that's not a bad trade to be in. So this is what the insurance company, this is how insurance company is thinking and doing. So essentially, insurance company is selling options. So selling options is a risky strategy, because what if these 100 cars were on a highway to Delhi in some North India on a foggy day, and all of the 50 of them have an accident? In that case, insurance company will have to pay 25% of the value for each car. So basically 10, about 1 crore rupees. That's a lot of money. They collected 10 lakhs and they're paying 1 crore, right? So you have to be careful. You have to understand what you're doing. You have to understand that, look, let's not sell insurance to everyone in Delhi because they can collide.
Yeah.
So some in Delhi, some in Bombay, some in Calcutta, some in here, some outside India and so on. So that these kind of risks are low. But you need, so while selling insurance, you need to be very careful. Similarly, you need to be careful while selling options. But then now let's come back to the yield strategies. So what yield strategies do is something similar. They sell options, right? So they sell something like this, like every month, the probability of Bitcoin increasing by 20%, they sell it. Which means, let's say you have one Bitcoin, you put it in the strategy. You say that, look, if Bitcoin goes up by 20% in a particular month, then I'm happy to sacrifice the upside beyond 20%.
Okay.
So today Bitcoin is 60,000.
Yeah.
Let's say it goes beyond 72,000, then I'm happy to sacrifice all the upside beyond 72. And for that, I'm getting a premium of, let's say, 3,000 every month. Right? So beyond 75, my losses start. Till 75, I'm fine. Every month, Bitcoin is not going to increase by 20%, right? So in some months, you will make losses, in some months, you will make profits. But there can be losses. And it's quite possible that there are 2-3 months, each of them, Bitcoin is up 20%. And these 20% and others are numbers that I've just used as placeholders, right? So when you're allocating money to a yield strategy, you have to be careful. You can make higher yield. For example, in the case that we took, if you're selling 72,000 upside beyond 72,000 for $3,000, that means per Bitcoin, you're making 5% per month, right? 3,000 upon 60,000.
Yeah.
So it's 5% per month, it's 60% per annum. But it's also quite possible that if Bitcoin goes to 80,000, you lost $5,000, right? So it's also quite possible that you end up losing. So you have to understand, and these strategies have to be done systematically. So you can put your funds in the, so when you go on the platform, you'll see yield strategies showing you high returns, like 50% per annum, 100% per annum, in some cases 200% per annum as well. But you have to, these require active monitoring, and they are good strategies to make money, but you have to be careful. So this is what yield strategies do. So and that is, why we have built these strategies, because people want to do this, but they find it very difficult to do it on their own. Because they have to understand options, they have to understand which option to sell, they have to understand when to sell, when to buy, and so on. So we just created a wrapper. That, look, you can do this. You can do this through a wrapper where you will, that, look, I'm using my Bitcoin to earn a higher yield by selling option. You can close the product anytime. If you feel that this month Bitcoin is going to go up and, 10 days out, let's say the month started, you sold for 30 days, but you realize that, look, first 10 days have been very good and it's quite possible that the next 20 days are even better. And I want to get out of it. So you can do that. There's an option to enter and exit at any time. That's available. But the most important thing is you have to understand the risk.
That's cool. I mean, talking of yield, you also provide yield on Data token. That was like your Nidhi token being a powerhouse of the Delta exchange. What you have planned for that Data token and the yield strategies on Data token is are actually profitable, very profitable too. So what's your plan with the Data token and how you guys have planned the further steps, the roadmap of Delta exchange with Data token?
Sure. So Detto is our own native token. This is used for many things on the exchange, like paying fee. If you have a bunch of Detto tokens, you can actually use them to take exposure in robo strategies. Let's say you want exposure to top 20 coins, but you don't have Bitcoin or USD Tether, then you can actually get that exposure via Detto as well. So also, if you put your money in these robo trading or yield strategies, you will also get some part of some Detto token as a reward. So Detto is also a token which is used for reward. Like if you trade on Delta, we are coming up with trade farming, which is an activity that, if you trade on Delta, then you will get rewards in terms of Detto. Right now also, people who trade $1 billion or more in a month, they get a reward which is in Detto tokens.
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
Detto is, you were saying.
Delta exchange is growing. Of course, we can expect Data token is also growing. So people invest money in Delta exchange, they'll also get some extra bonus in terms of Datto token. And I think you have listed the token on your exchanges, and it comes around 20 to 25 cents, I guess.
Yeah, sorry. Some of the very interesting things about Datto are you can use Datto to pay fee for Delta. And when you use them to pay fee, you will each Datto will be worth 50 cents, right? So if you have $5 of fee to pay, you can give us just 10 Datto, we will accept it at 50 cents, right? So you can buy from market at 24 or 25 and you can give it to us at 50, right? So in that regard, it's quite exciting.
Yeah.
And we've built these features. Like I said, it's a utility token on the platform, right? So we have built these features, and that Datto has a limited supply, right? And it benefits from the growth of the network of the Delta exchange, right? So earning Datto is also good because if you earn Datto over a period of time, you can create more value out of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you are if you are earning it, like if you are doing something anyways, and you might as well get Datto reward for it. It's not bad. Some of the very good investors have invested in Datto. Our investors include Aave. Aave is an old investor in the company since day one. They are also an investor in Datto. Kyber Network, Sino Global, Spartan Group, QCP, which is one of the largest market makers in Deribit, a very well-known shop. Then we have Gooby Crypto, which is a big gaming company and a very well-known shop again, out of Japan. We have Tobochin, that's an investor. So much of Coin Fund is an investor. So we're really proud to have some very high quality names like Aave, Kyber, Tobo, QCP, Spartan Group. They have all backed us, and we are very proud to have that kind of core crypto community kind of extend support to us.
That's cool. That's cool. So you were saying?
No, so that's exactly what I was saying. That Datto is basically everything on the exchange has rewards built in Datto and also utility built in Datto. So you can get exposure to certain strategies only if you have Datto. Right? Secondly, you can use it to pay fee, and you can use it to pay fee at a higher rate than where the market is. We also use some part of our revenues to buy Datto. So we also burn Datto. So basically that life cycle is completely built into a platform, and just by being active on the platform, using Delta instead of other exchanges, you can basically get Datto as a reward.
I mean, there are a lot of reward structures and offers that Delta exchanges are providing. So if the viewers are watching this, you're getting good rewards and you're on your platform, and some special offers including the deposits and 25,000 bonus and all, everything is there. So it's really attractive. People who are looking into a derivative platform like Delta, they are getting good benefit in Datto, and of course the extra bonus reward using the platform.
So we also have a lot of other offers which not a lot of platforms offer. For example, every depositor on their first deposit, we give them some kind of a deposit bonus. If you increase your deposit size beyond 100,000, we give you a good $25,000 bonus. These are basically trading capital bonuses. So you can trade with those capital. It helps you increase your trading ability. It helps you give you higher trading capital. We also give you rewards when you are over certain milestones like $1 million daily traded volume or a monthly traded volume and so on. So you'll see a lot of activity around Datto as well. Both on the investor front as well. Some very well known and prolific names have also invested in it recently. So and like you said, a lot of activity. It's basically the heart and the powerhouse of the exchange.
So we are actually moving on to our last session. So this is actually an interesting session. I call it Bulls on the Loose. This is like a rapid fire thing. So people would love to know your favorite tokens, your favorite blockchain. So starting with that.
I'm saying, is there a hammer involved here as well?
No. I'm gonna give you a thumbs up if you answer very well. That's all.
Okay. All right, that works.
Yeah. Maybe when we meet, next time, I will also bring some hammer from the Crypto Tribe family for sure. I'm gonna bring some Indian spice food from South India, homemade, some spicy food. So
like a hammer.
Yeah. Cool. So the first question is your favorite crypto.
Crypto token, Datto.
Oh, that's cool. I was hearing. I was.
Datto and then Bitcoin. So.
Okay, cool. Okay, now we are balancing.
Bitcoin believer.
Now we are balancing.
So that's why you see both of them on the.
Okay. So, what's your favorite blockchain?
Bitcoin and then Ethereum.
Ethereum. Okay, so I've seen people. I mean, I want to take an elaboration on that blockchain part. I've seen people talking about Ethereum replacing Bitcoin. We had many discussion over it. So, what do you think? Ethereum can be a replacement? I'm pretty sure that Bitcoin will hold its value in terms of coin and of course the blockchain. It will have always have that backup. The fan base will be always there. But if Ethereum can replace Bitcoin, what it should do? That's my question. What it should do to replace Bitcoin?
So, if right now, I think a lot of people when we talk about replacing, I don't think the way I look at crypto universe in 10 years from now, I think there'll be many cryptos.
True.
It will not be just one or two cryptos, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think it will be about the total market cap will grow. It's not like Ethereum will pull money away from Bitcoin. Bitcoin will grow. Ethereum will grow. There'll be a bunch of other cryptos that grow as well.
Yeah.
Right? It's quite possible that Ethereum might become bigger than Bitcoin. Only time will tell.
Yeah.
But I don't think that Bitcoin, Ethereum, or any other crypto will suck flows away from Bitcoin or vice versa. So Bitcoin is Bitcoin does not have smart contract function as of yet, which Ethereum does. But Bitcoin is very robust. It has the longest history. It has the strongest community. And also, it has a lot less. Now, not everything needs to do everything, right? So maybe Bitcoin is not the best blockchain for in the current shape for smart contracts. Maybe Ethereum's blockchain is good for doing some kind of smart contracts, not others. So for trading use cases like decentralized trading, maybe Ethereum is not the best blockchain, right? But for decentralized lending, Ethereum is a good blockchain.
Yeah, true.
I don't see much reason for decentralized lending to go from Ethereum to any other blockchain. But for trading, I would think Solana is a good blockchain to go to.
The fastest transaction provider is Solana. Yeah.
So just as a traditional world, we have many stocks or many assets which each have their own function and value in the ecosystem, right? There is silver, there is gold, there is copper, and it's not like one is bigger than another. They just service different use cases.
True.
Right?
That's true. So on that note,
I see world will
Okay. On that note, so we would love to know your first investment, how much money you invested in crypto for the first time, and your worst investment. That's the second question. The first investment, how much money did you invest? People have this, thought like, we must buy the Bitcoin as a whole. We must invest 1 lakh, 2 lakh, or 3 lakh to buy some crypto from the, crypto market. So this was the uncertainty people had in the beginning. But now it's like they know how to invest. They know that they can buy Bitcoin worth of 100 rupees. So what was your first investment? How much money did you invest in crypto?
So first was Bitcoin. How much money? It was a couple of thousand rupees. I think about 10,000 or something. I started small. And one thing that I've done is I've continuously, instead of buying in big chunks, I've continuously bought small every time.
What was your worst investment then?
What was my first investment?
First investment is Bitcoin, around 10,000.
First investment in life. Okay.
Yeah.
First investment in life. Wow, I don't remember that.
No, in crypto. You said that it's Bitcoin, right?
In crypto, it was Bitcoin.
Yeah. What was your worst investment? The money you lost when you invested. You never thought about investing in, but you again invested it, but you lost it. So what was your worst investment?
Oh, what was my worst investment? So I was looking at some coins at 2017 or 2018. I don't remember when. And I got greedy and I bought some random coin which did something with tomatoes or something. So, I don't remember. And I don't know what happened to it.
Okay, then we will forget about it completely.
And I did not lose a lot of money because I was investing in very small size, like 4,000, 5,000 or something. But yeah, I remember that trade. That was a greedy trade, and I don't want to.
This happens. Like this happens with everyone. Even I learned many things about crypto by losing money in crypto.
Yes.
The moment.
Lesson,
exactly.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, there are many people who are saying that you can actually learn everything by just reading books and doing trades. Yeah, but you can do that, but it will cover only 20%. In order for you to get correct idea of crypto investment and trading, you need to lose some money on crypto. Then only you will get the correct grip.
Yeah, and that's true for all the markets. What you really need to learn is the temperament, how to hold your nerves, right? So I remember 2020 March very clearly. It's very easy to say in the hindsight that you should have purchased Bitcoin at 3,000 or 4,000.
Yes, yes.
Reality is, it was available at 3,000 to 6,000 for almost 8 weeks, right? But it was very difficult. The day it was falling, it was very difficult to come out with your money and say, look, I'm going to buy at 3. But why 3? Why not 22? Why not 18? And people were that day were speculating like 22 and 1,800 and so on. So I think holding your temperament and nerves you can only get by real life experience. I think not going in. I can tell you one of the very bad decisions that I made. When the markets are falling, so they provide sometimes best opportunities, and I didn't capitalize on it as much. So yeah, that is again when you're talking about decisions, that's a bad decision. But investing in tomato coin and stuff like that is certainly a very bad, much worse decision. So.
So all right. So with that, we have come to the end of this AMA session. So once again, I would love to thank Mr. Pankaj Balani on behalf of the entire Crypto Tribe family. We are very grateful and happy that you could join us today. We are thrilled to see Delta Exchange succeed in its goal and help the crypto community to be a better one, and we hope that it will grow in the future. So I want to ask you this simple question. There are people who are watching this who have invested in crypto, who have done many trades and who are doing some good trades and who would love to learn trade, who would love to use platforms like Delta to provides better services and products to the crypto lovers. So what is the biggest advice that you have to throw out the Indian crypto enthusiast?
What's the biggest advice for crypto enthusiasts?
In general, yeah.
So I think it's a beautiful market. One should definitely experience it, understand it, and only then invest in it. But to the larger set, I would say don't ignore it. It is and believe in it. So it will look very unbelievable, but it's a change that is happening slowly under our feet, and over a bigger timeline, it will look very. It will look like it was obvious, but it will be tough to believe. I would also say that these are good markets. We are in a bull market, but be responsible with your capital. Don't go all guns blazing. Don't go full hog. Don't have every penny that you have put in the one asset and think that you will become rich overnight. Those kind of things don't happen. So be responsible and play it like a long-term game. The crypto is going to be around for the next 50 years at least. And just as equities and others, it's a long-term. It's a risky asset, and one has to look at the bigger picture and the longer term. So
on that point, believe in it, don't ignore it, but be responsible and do your best investment in crypto. So
absolutely.
It's been a wonderful time, and I really want to appreciate your effort on spending this time with us. So that said, we are actually winding up. I really don't want to wind up right now. I think like you have many ideas about crypto. You have been a educator in the crypto space. So I'm looking up to learning many things from you as an educator in my community. So I would love to have you on board very soon. We would love to host you in Kerala if you want to come, and we will have
that'll be great, actually.
We're gonna have a physical meetup or where people can come and talk about Delta and the derivative part of crypto. We are looking forward to host you very soon. So we're gonna give you some special Indian spicy food as well.
We'll take the boat out onto the backwaters into the camera and talk about crypto and Bitcoin and derivatives.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Sounds like a fun ride.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And I'm really looking forward to learn many things from you. So this is me, the Crypto Master, and my friend Mr. Pankaj Balani, the CEO of the Crypto Derivative Exchange, Delta Exchange. So I will be seeing you very soon, guys. Godspeed.
Cheers, guys. Bye, everyone. Thanks, Mirza. Cheers. Good fun.